This episode of Distraction is sponsored by Landmark College. Try their free comparison tool for colleges with learning disability support at lcdistraction.org. Landmark College. Learn your way. Succeed uniquely. Hello, this is Dr. Ned Hallowell for Distraction. This is our final episode for the year 2017, and our estimable producer, whom I just can't say enough good about. She's remarkable, incredible, talented. Sarah Girton asked me to speculate on the coming year, which I have no clue how to do. She said, well, you must have some thoughts. So, because I never can say no to Sarah, I took it upon myself to try to speculate. But I realized how dumb that was. I mean, not that her idea was dumb, but how dumb I am at doing it. Do you have any clue what's going to happen in 2018? I don't. I'm really a bad prognosticator. And I can imagine all kinds of things happening, but I guess I'm just not smart enough to have any clue what's going to happen, which sort of makes every day exciting because I never know what's going to happen. So with that as sort of an introduction, I thought what I might do is give you my best advice, my best thoughts as to how to prepare for whatever does happen in 2018. What suggestions I'd have to decorate your life, to furbish, not refurbish, but furbish your life for 2018. What are the things that I think, go a long way toward making every day worthwhile? Just some wishes for you. Here we go. Don't make a New Year's resolution. Don't fall into that trap. It's a terrible idea. New Year's resolutions are traps. They're psychological traps designed to make you feel bad for not fulfilling them. I don't know how many New Year's resolutions I made over the years until I got out of the habit of making them. I don't think I've fulfilled a single one of them. I might have fulfilled them for a little while and then reverted back to form. So do not fall into the trap of making a New Year's resolution. There's so many articles about New Year's resolutions. They're foolish. They're absolute self-deceptions. And don't torture yourself by making a resolution, beginning to fulfill it, and then feeling terrible that you didn't fulfill it. So free yourself in the coming year of that trap. Don't make a New Year's resolution. Number 2 suggestion: get a dog. Those of you who know me know I make this suggestion all the time. Patients who come to see me, I recommend a dog. Now, a cat is okay if you're a cat person. A cat is okay. But if you can possibly get a dog, get a dog. I know there are reasons not to: allergies, zoning laws, where you live. But there are ways, if you think about it, between hiring a dog sitter or a house sitter or a dog walker. There are ways that most people can get a dog, and the repayment is amazing. Dogs do more for people than any other living being on this planet. Dogs really are proof that there is goodness in the universe. They love us, and poor things, they get abused, they get neglected, they die, but what they give back to us is so extraordinary. So if you can possibly get a dog, please consider getting a dog. You can get a rescue dog. You can go to a shelter. There are many dogs out there who need a home, and no matter how much pain and suffering the dog has gone through, you take them in, love them, they will turn, they get over their post-traumatic syndrome a lot faster than humans do, and what they'll give to you is just the greatest gift in the world, just unconditional love. You have to clean up a few poops, yes, but so what? You have to walk them, but that's fun. You play with them, you love them. I wish all of you listening could get a dog, if it's possible. I know for some people it's not possible. And please, you cat lovers, don't be offended. Have a cat. Cats, in their own strange and mysterious way, can produce just as much joy. Another wish for you, another gift you can give to yourself, is to plant a garden. Now, you don't have to have a green thumb. You really don't. My thumb is nowhere near green, but I love having flowers around. I love the beauty that you can grow in your own backyard, or a window box, or a planter in your office if you can have a plant. Plants are also wonderful. They not only do they produce beauty, they're good for us to be with plants. Treat your plants well. They actually respond well to being treated well. Like any living thing, it will treat you better if you treat it well, and they give back as well. Another suggestion is to take up cooking. You don't have to be a gourmet chef, but the act of cooking, even something as simple as frying an egg, honestly, frying an egg can feel so good. You put the frying pan on the flame or the electric burner, whatever you have. You put in a little butter or some olive oil. You drop in the egg. You let it cook. In my case, I baste the egg so it gets a little coating on the yolk. You take it out of the pan. You put it on a plate, and you eat it. Now, if you can couple it with some toast or a bagel, or maybe some bacon or a sausage or some smoked salmon, that all the better. But something as simple as frying an egg, it can feel so good. You see, it's something simple. Anyone can do it. You end up with a reward that's actually good for you. And it takes all of, 5 minutes. And you've done something constructive. You've taken care of yourself, and you've created something worthwhile. You've fried an egg. So let me commend to you for the coming year the frying of an egg. As simple as that. You'll feel good. Another wish for you is to have a regular date with a friend. A regular date with a friend. I've been meeting with the same man, Peter Metz, my best friend, for over 30 years. Every other Tuesday, he comes in from his home in Worcester, about a 45-minute drive to the west, and we meet and play squash. And we've been playing this game for over 30 years. And after our squash game, we go out and we have a beer together, or 2 beers together as the case may be, and we talk about everything under the sun. We know everything about one another. And it's this marvelous period of, I hate the clinical words, bonding, whatever you want to say. We love each other, and in the way, people can do, where I look forward to seeing him. Just knowing he's in my life makes me feel better. The regularity of the meeting makes a big difference. I know I'm going to see him on a regular basis. It's not left to chance. And the way life goes, if you leave these things to chance, you see less and less of a person until they're a memory rather than an active person in your life. So pick one person who's not in your immediate family and make a date to see them around something. In our case, it's a squash game and a beer. It might be just meeting for lunch. It might be you go to some activity. You should probably have some activity. And that ritual extended over time, that connection becomes very sustaining in ways that will surprise you. I promise you it will surprise you if you do it regularly. If you make that a priority, because, it does take time and with so many things competing for our time. But I quit work early on Tuesday afternoons to go out with Peter to the squash court and then to the little bar we go afterward. And it's made a huge difference in terms of my love of life. Another suggestion is to forgive someone. Now, you've heard me talk about forgiveness before, and let me just make a few points about forgiveness. Forgiveness is not a moment. It's a process. It's not something you say, okay, I've forgiven that person, you move on. It's a process. And if you're forgiving them something serious, it's a process that needs to be refurbished. You'll back and fill. And forgiveness does not mean you condone what was done. It simply means you free yourself of the hold that anger and resentment have over you. And in that sense, forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself. The other person doesn't even need to know about it. You don't have to communicate with the other person. You simply free yourself of the anger and resentment. I recently reached out to some friend that I knew there was some kind of trouble between us, and they never responded. They simply didn't respond, and I felt hurt, but I didn't hold it as a grudge. I figured to myself they had some reason, their own personal reason, for rejecting my overture. And yes, it did hurt my feelings, but I didn't clutch onto it as if I'd been wronged. I felt sad for a while. I felt bad. I figured they had their reasons that I simply didn't understand. But rather than holding on to it as a resentment, I let it go. Now, when I come back to it, will I feel a pang of sadness? Yes, I will. But I don't attach to that anger and resentment or blame. I simply see it as the natural way of life. You know, people don't always get along. People don't always understand one another. People can't always be there for each other in the ways that both parties wish. That's just life. You don't want to amplify the problem by dwelling on it, attaching blame to it, feeding it with toxins like anger and resentment. You want to sort of see it as, a conflict that couldn't be resolved as part of this thing we call life, and don't let it pollute your system, and don't attach negative feelings toward the other person. Accept the pain, accept the hurt, and just let it be and move along. And at the same time, cherish the people you do have. Cherish, and this is my final suggestion and certainly the most important one, cherish the people you do have every day. Try to make it a point to remind yourself, sort of your list of gratitudes, if you will, the most important people in your life. Cherish them. Let that feeling of accompaniment, of connection, of love, let that course through your veins, your brain, your bones, your body in every way you can. Let that nourish you. The more you let that happen, the stronger you will become. It is a fact that if you dwell on that, if you dwell on the love, the positive, and just the Yiddish word kvel, just feel joy and pride and happy about it. That is a way of sort of, people talk about having a detox or a cleansing, and it's usually involved the colon or something. This is a soul cleansing, if you will, but it's done not by purging, quite the opposite. It's done by cherishing. It's done by mental image, by reminding yourself, by looking with loving eyes upon the people you particularly do love. So my wish for you for 2018 and for every year you're lucky enough to be alive is to cherish and love as fully and deeply as you possibly can, which is very fully and deeply, thank God. Okay, for 2017, thank you all. Thank you for following us along. Please tell your friends about it. If you like our podcast, we're trying to grow a big and wonderful community. This is Dr. Ned Hallowell wishing you all the happiest of 2018s. If you like what you're hearing, please take a moment to rate and review us on Distraction on the Apple Podcast. Now, let me tell you how to do that. You go to iTunes, and then you click on Podcasts, or you search Distraction Podcast. And then when you get to us, the Distraction Podcast, there's a little button you can click to put in a review. It's pretty simple, but if you don't know how to do it, you'll never get there. So go to iTunes, click on Podcasts, find Distraction, or search Distraction Podcast. Our site will pop up, and then there's a button you can push to write a review. If you do that, it really does help us, and it helps other podcast listeners find us. So if you like this growing community that we have, and I hope you do, please take a minute, go to iTunes, click on podcast or search Distraction Podcast, and write a review saying, this is the greatest thing since Sliced Podcasts or whatever. Thank you so much. If you would do that, take the time to do that. As always, please reach out with your questions, comments, and show ideas. We absolutely depend on you. We'll answer your questions, we'll ponder your comments, and we will implement your show ideas. Pretty much guaranteed. I frequently answer your questions on the show, so please keep sending them in. Email us a note with your question or record a voice memo on your phone and send it to connect@distractionpodcast.com. That's connect@distractionpodcast.com. Or leave us a message by calling 844-55-CONNECT. That's 844-55-CONNECT. Distraction is produced by Collisions, the podcast division of CRN International. Collisions, podcasts for curious people. Our producer is the wonderfully imaginative and dedicated Sarah Gurton. Our sound engineer is the brilliant, adept Scott Person. And our music theme was created by Mark Berman.